Alright, I'm just going to give you a quick video on how to replace the skin on your Xhaler. This one is painted, but I'm just using it as an example. You're going to loosen up that set screw there. Push your pin out. Just, you can use a screwdriver, tweezers, whatever. Pop that out, and it's apart. Okay, I already have one here that I pre-cleaned as an example, but what you would do is just wipe it off real good. If you're pulling an old skin off of there, you might want to make sure that you definitely want to make sure that everything's off of there. Wipe it down with alcohol and make sure that you have a nice clean tube. These are the skins that I'm going to be offering soon. A lot of the Xhalers that are sold already have them. You just want to peel that off. You want to start your hole relatively upright, and you want to start it off on a relatively straight line. So you want to keep that straight. It's not real important that it's perfect, but it's important that it's sort of straight. I like to start rolling it. Make sure the first seam is pressed down real good. I'm doing it on top of a magazine or something because it makes it, when you press it down, it makes it nice and smooth, and then just roll it just like that. I like to look inside and make sure that that's tight all the way around the seam there. Same on this side. You want to use a sharp knife. I like to use this hook knife, but it's not necessary. You just start it right there as close as you can get to the side. I just go around and cut this off. You want to get as close to it as you can. If you don't get it perfect the first time, that's alright, because you can trim around. When you do trim it up, I like to use a straight knife to trim it up. Just go around and make sure that you get it so it looks relatively straight. Again, if it's not, it's pretty simple, it's pretty forgiving. Do the other side as well. I like to find a hole and press it down real good into the hole so it makes it easier to cut. Like so. Just follow the inside of the hole. Again, this isn't really that critical because it has a Delrin button that goes back in, and it sort of covers that area. So if you don't get it perfect, it's alright. You just want to make sure the inside of the hole is nice and clear. I'm going to put some NHALER on this one to illustrate how I do it. I like to look down through the hole and put it in through the end so that you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. So it's right underneath of the hole where the button is. I just put my pinky in there and sort of smear it down, smear it along there. You don't need a big clump. As long as it's on the metal in there, you don't even have to see it because it's there. If you want, you can put a little NHALER around the threads on the top. I also like to keep not the bottom thread but the top thread, just because that makes it nice and smooth. Just put a little dab on the threads like that, and then rub it in around like that. This stuff comes right off, but it just helps lubricate the caps and all that stuff. Putting it back together, I just line it up the same way, look down through the top hole, line it up, set that in there, get it like started. You can see it's sort of started. And then I usually just get this and work this down, make sure it's clear. I got that a little tight. Yeah, I just had it a little tight. You can actually take that screw all the way out if you have to, but I have a jig for this to put the button on, but obviously nobody else is going to have it. What I like to do is just put it on top of a magazine again. You can get like the handle of this and tap it like that. You could do it on top of something, but really this button could, you know, make a nick in whatever you're hitting it on top of. But I usually just give it one of them. This one's a little tighter. Just kind of hold it level. Give it a tap like that. Then when you tighten your screw back up, you make sure it's all the way down up against the Delrin. So I don't know if you can see that. This will sort of spin around and pop around, but as long as you make sure it's down nice and tight on top of the Delrin. Insulator, snug it up. Put your bottom cap back on. Like so, and you're ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to be offering some of these skins for people who want different colors. Here's some of the ones I have here. These are the new mini Xhalers. I'm going to be putting some pictures up soon, but I just wanted to get these lined up to give you a comparison of some of the colors and the schemes that are going to be available. These are all vinyl here, and I have all these vinyls. I just put this here so you could see, you know, the approximate size. This is the new aluminum tips that I'm coming out with. I don't have them in gold right now, but these are the drip tips that are already available. If you can see the aluminum, I'm going to have these anodized. These ones aren't anodized. I'll have them in clear so they look just like this, and gold. It'll be more like a gold, like sort of like this color, gold. So that was just for some of the people that said they like the way the metal ones look better. I got some really cool new vinyls that look pretty sharp. And that's it. Thanks for watching.